who better than me?
Welcome back to another episode of The Hardcore Casual with your boy, Bass the Kid. And you know what? We bringing back special guest co-commentator Mbaku Panther, and you'll see why later because he will be needed. First things first, thank you everyone who gave me some feedback on the last video through all the different channels, including in the comments. It's helped me out to just understand a bit more about the new mic, how people want things going moving forward. And I think I'm gonna stop making these Sunday episodes, actual episodes of The Hardcore Casual. I think I need to figure out just a new name and concept for them entirely. So we're gonna see how that one works moving forward. And yes, I know people have been messaging me, where's the dressing gown, or what else did they call it, the bathrobe, or like, it is coming back, don't worry. But that's coming up later on. For now, let's get into this weekend's action. Now, first things first, I want to give a quick shout out to Samuel Antwi and Connor Walker, who had an English, I think it was like an area title English fight on the undercard of Eubank Jr. and Williams. It was on the YouTube portion of the event. Very good fight. Probably to me, I feel like it was the fight of the night. I was watching it. I was at my godson's birthday party, so I was kind of just watching it while obviously interacting with everyone else. But from what I saw, that fight, yeah, it was just all action, and Samuel Antwi ended up getting the victory. So if you haven't seen that fight, I'd highly recommend watching that. It was a good crack. Outside of that, if we're going to talk about others quickly, Otto Wallin, poor. Just poor. He's been out of the ring for quite a while, and it showed, to be honest. Kamil Sokolowski put it on him. I feel a bit aggrieved that the scorecards were the way they were, but ultimately, look, I guess they're trying to build him up for maybe a Hughie Fury contest in the future or something. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. But yeah, that one wasn't great. Who else was on that card? Chris USSR Robinson, one of Sporting Icons' darlings. Yeah, I didn't even see his thing. I heard about it. I'm gonna watch it, but he got punched up. Sporting is not looking so good for your boy. So back to the drawing board, I guess. I'm not even going to spend too much time going through the card itself. I did see the Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios fight. I mean, Thurman won it convincingly, but couldn't get the guy out of there. But 2.5 years out of the ring, I don't know what I was expecting. By the way, I watched that probably about half an hour before shooting this, so like that's kind of fresh in my mind. But it was a decent performance. He still got skills. He's just too inactive. He needs, if he gets out again by the summertime and then by the end of the year, then cool. Like, I'd actually like if he would, because he's not going to get Ugas and he's not going to get Spence next because their fight's in April. Fight Crawford. Just take that fight. Prove that you still got the goods. I mean, you know, you'll get your head taken off, but at least it will show heart. But yeah. Nah, it was a decent enough performance, but against Mario Barrios, he should have been doing better than that. I mean, the guy got KO'd by a guy coming up from 130. So the fact that you ain't get him up at 147, even though you had on 10-ounce gloves, and I know that was Barrios' team didn't agree to the 8-ounce gloves thing, but yeah, it wasn't all that. Who else was on the card that was of any interest to me? No, I didn't really care too much about that. The DAZN card, I need to say, like, my boy Khalil Ko, who I had a lot of high hopes for, it came through, started to look like he's delivering a bit. And I guess if things are to be believed, the reason why he wasn't making weight and stuff before is the team that he was around didn't know how you make weight properly, things like that. He's got a new trainer, a new team around him now. They got through the fight yesterday. It was you know, it was a 2-round job, but he looked like he did back in his professional debut, and like he did in the very first round of his last fight, just before obviously everything fell apart. So now he's 2-0-1. So hopefully he's back on track, and yeah, we can keep that moving forward with him, and I'll try and speak a bit more about that on the next time he's out. I don't think he's ever going to get down to 168 though. He said he wanted to move down to super middleweight. I mean, based on the way how he's not able to even make 175 properly right about now, I don't see that happening. So yeah, but we'll see. We'll never know. Ray Ford was very lucky to get the decision against his opponent Vasquez, who I think was 11-0 as well. So they were both undefeated. I saw that fight again. It wasn't Ray's greatest night, but yeah, obviously the judges saw enough, I suppose, to feel like he was going to move and do something moving forward. So, you know, fair enough. And then ultimately the main event, which then ended up being Cuadras against Rodriguez. Jesse Bam Rodriguez came up 2 weight divisions, beat Cuadras for the vacant WBC flyweight title. I gotta commend him. Like, it was a very good performance. He definitely showed that he's got the goods. He was said initially he was going to vacate the belt immediately and go back down, but now he's saying, you know, I feel good at the weight, so I want to see what my options are. Like, if I get some unifications, I get some good fights, or even like the Martinez, if I can get the Martinez fight, I'll take that. I don't know if he'd take it at that weight, or even go down to 112 and fight Martinez down there and then become a two-weight world champion. Who knows? But Rodriguez is definitely the goods, and he's now the youngest world champion in the world. He's just turned 22, I believe, last month. So yeah, big up to him. Like, it was a dominant performance. If you haven't seen that fight, you need to watch that fight. But you know who we're here to talk about. So, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. Now, I've seen quite a few things online, and quite frankly, like, I disagree. So here's how I'm gonna drop it. First things first, Chris is 32. You know what Chris and M'Baku Panther have got in common? Ain't neither of them going anywhere. Like, this is literally Chris's level. He's not going to do anything above this level. Whether he's got Roy Jones Jr. in his corner, even if he had Emmanuel Stewart in his corner, he is not progressing past this, what could we call it, maybe fringe world level. I'm going to tell you, right, I've looked at this, I watched the fight. First round, yeah. Liam Williams was outboxing Chris in the whole of the first round. He got caught by the silly jab. Now, admit, like, Chris set him up. He set him onto it. Excellent. I thought, ooh, because I didn't even see it initially. I'm like, what happened? How did he drop? I thought he slipped. That's literally, I thought he slipped. I'm like, because the way he dropped, it just looked like his feet just fell from underneath him. Right, okay. I see the replay, but oh, it was a shot. Okay, Chris, I see how you're doing now. The rest of that round, obviously, Liam, as I said in another video, he's got very good powers of recovery. He seems to be able to be hurt and manage to plow forward and shake it off, right? So second round comes now, and Chris is doing better, and he knocks him down again. And this time, the knockdown like a lot heavier than the first one. I'm like, okay, raw. So the prediction I gave, I was like, okay, you know what? My prediction's in the mud, but I'm happy. Like, I'm seeing improvements here. I'm seeing mad improvements. Third round was a bit more competitive between the two of them. Like, it could have been a toss-up to say who won that round, right? Fourth round, similar to the first. Like, Williams is doing his job. He's doing well. But Chris gets him with the jab again. And you're just like, wow, so Williams just ain't, number one, Williams ain't learning how to avoid this jab. But Chris is, okay, he's clearly improved. His timing's improved. Like, his punch selection is improved, and he's not just being wild and whatnot. But then we get to the 5th round, and the 6th, and the 7th, and the 8th, and the 9th, and the 10th, and the 11th. And in all of these rounds, Chris is getting outboxed. Not even just getting outboxed, he's getting outlanded. Like, Liam Williams is actually putting hurtings on Chris. Even the times when Chris was like motioning and drawing, like, no, stay right here, don't back off, like, stay here, let's have a go. And I thought, oh, okay, so you want him to engage, so you're setting something up. I see it. It's smart. And maybe the judges looked at that and saw, oh, do you know what, he's winning these rounds because Williams is scared to engage. Okay, I could maybe see that in that mind, but that's kind of stopped, I think, from what, maybe round 5, round 6-ish. I'd have to watch it back to know exactly which one, but for my money, Liam Williams, like, in terms of the actual overall round and not just parts of it, Liam Williams won every round. And even the rounds that he got knocked down in, the majority of them he was winning. So if you look at the way you can score a fight, right? If you knock someone down, that doesn't automatically make it a 10-8 round, first of all. I know that a lot of us view it as 10-8s because you feel like, well, the person that gets knocked down, you know, it must be, they must have been winning the round ultimately to get to that stage. No, sometimes flash knockdowns happen. So imagine if there's an argument, right, that you could say that Williams lost the 1st round and the 4th round 10-9 and not 10-8. Because in both of those rounds, he was pretty much dominating. Chris was backing up. Williams was stabbing to the body more. He was actually getting his jab off a bit better. He was landing more overall. And he was sort of controlling the real estate around the ring. Alright? Then he gets hit with these jabs, which knock him off. So at that point, you say, well, it would have been 10-8 to him. 10-9 to him, sorry. Then Chris knocks him down. So when you get knocked down, you lose a point. You don't lose the round, you lose a point, right? But because I believe they're employing the 10-point must system, rather than it being a 9-9 round, someone has to get the 10. So Eubank will get the 10, but because Williams was dominant throughout the rest of the round, at that point he would have also had a 10, but because of the knockdown, you lose a point, it becomes a 9, right? Realistically. So there is a very credible argument to say that even with all of those knockdowns included, that fight could have been either scored a draw or scored 1/2 points to Liam Williams. Now let's talk about the eighth round for a second. That was a garbage knockdown. That was not a knockdown at all. Everyone saw he was pushed over. Everyone but the ref. However, I can't say much about it because probably Williams should have lost 1, maybe 2 points, possibly even been disqualified for a lot of the, maybe not the holding, but the headlocking, the using the forearm, pushing Chris back into the ropes and things like that. Although Chris is acting like he never threw forearm shots himself. I can't remember what round it was. It was the end of one of the rounds. I think it might have been the end of the 8th. They were both kind of on the Williams pushed Chris back onto the ropes, and Williams threw a shot, and then Chris with his other hand, obviously he's in this one, but he threw a shot, one with the glove. The second shot, the glove wasn't there. He went in with his forearm and his elbow into Williams, and then threw another shot afterwards using the elbow as well. And it's like the ref didn't see it, and then Williams hit him as they were backing off each other. Williams punched him, and then the bell went, and then Chris got wobbled off of that, and then he went and threw at him afterwards, which is when the ref grabbed him and basically held him, but then swung him around, and that's where Roy Jones Jr. jumped in the ring and was like, "Yo, what you doing, man? Like, mine out before I deal with you." I was like, okay, yeah, like, we all need a Roy Jones in our corner, but again, it's Capricorn energy, but we're not getting into that today. But Yeah. So I was watching this fight, and literally all I'm saying to myself is, like, I thought I can see I thought I saw these improvements, but then I'm like, nah, these improvements, they was like, there was a mirage, there was an illusion, because ultimately, what did he do? He reverted back to type. Also, his tank was horrendous. Like, he's never looked. He's always been like a kind of an engine guy, and even though like he hasn't got the biggest engine, he's always been fairly, you know, sort of fairly resilient, like managing. He always seems to have enough to go through. Now, we all know that Williams is, you know, they call him the machine for a reason. Like, he can go. Like, he's got energy. He's not a guy that just gets tired after a couple flurries. Like, he's on you for the entire fight. So you have to have the energy and the reserves to manage him, or you have to have the punch to stop him from coming at you constantly. Now, I don't know whether Chris has that per se, but the whole of the 12th round now was ridiculous. Like, I've seen people, and I'm not even talking, even Floyd's never done it for the entire round, but I've seen people get points taken off for the entire, because of literally running like as much as Chris was doing in that round. Like, the showboating and stuff, no, that's cool, but you're showboating, but there's not, you haven't thrown one shot the entire round. Like, you haven't done anything to engage. You're literally running. Like, the referee can stop the fight at that point and deduct a point if he really wanted to. Like, so yeah, in the sense that, like, the first half of the fight, you could say Chris was accurate and he was effective in what he was doing. I agree with that. But in terms of people saying, oh, he totally destroyed Williams, it was like, no, it wasn't. Like, the knockdowns make it look worse than it was. But I'm telling you, if he didn't get knocked down in rounds 1 and 4, yeah, even if you take the second round, but if you didn't get knocked down in the first round and the fourth round, there's no way anyone can tell me that Chris won that fight. And that's like God honest truth. I will watch it again and I'll debate that with anybody. Like, every round, Williams, as far from what I saw, he outlanded Chris. Whether Chris got grazed with the shot or rolled with the shot, but his head got rocked back several times from jabs himself. He got hit with straight rights. Whether he maybe took some of the sting out of him or not, I don't know. But he got hit with more shots than Williams got hit with in that entire fight. Williams controlled the real estate. He was the one pushing Chris around the ring. There was very little times where Chris was like stationary and holding his feet and holding his corner. Like, he was being moved because he had to. And all the showboating in round 12 is because I think at that point, his energy, he didn't have enough energy to feel like he could get this guy out of there. Apparently he's hurt. He said he's hurt his hand a little bit. It's a little swollen. He said it's not broken or anything, but he hurt it in sort of round 4 or 5, which, okay, maybe would say why he stopped throwing the jab the way he was throwing it. But realistically, he, at this point, you're supposed to have other tools. You could have got him out of there with other shots, but his whole form, like, everything about him fell apart after like round 5 or 6. Like, he got tired. His form fell apart. His shot selection just became wild. He was trying to do old school stuff that he used to do. It was just a mess. So yeah, like, I can't lie, like, anything higher than this level, he gets battered, he gets taken out. And the whole next gen thing, like, the guy's not that much younger than me. How are you next gen and you're in your 30s? You're just about this gen. In fact, you can't be next gen because Harlem had a Ute. Harlem's Ute is next gen, if anything. Like, my man's talking next gen, yet he's giving people Mega Drive settings. At best, what, Dreamcast? Like, that's your level, Chris. Sega Dreamcast. You think what, because Golovkin's 40 you can have, if he still got a chin, Golovkin takes you out. Like, I'll tell you that now. Andrade batters you. Even Jamal Charlo, as much as I think he's dead food, Jamal Charlo will give you hell all night. Murata, jury's out on that. Have a fight with Rob Brown. See how you get on with him. Then maybe we'll see about Murata. But if you stay at 160, like, unless these belts become vacant, yeah, you're not. In fact, you know what? Here's the joke. You've got a perfect opportunity for a title. Get yourself in them WBO rankings, because Andrade's moving up, innit? Petition, get Skye Wasserman and all of them to back you to fight Yanni Beck for that WBO title, a vacant title, and see how well you survive. Like, I've tried to be there for Chris, but like, he's not his dad. He's not as gifted as his dad was. He's not as naturally talented as his dad was. And even his dad used to cut corners when it came to training, but he was just good enough to do it. You're not him. So if this is next gen, I want the old one. Like Biggie said, I want that old thing back, because this ain't it. But you know what? That's enough of me dumping on him for right now. I'm going to relax the rest of the day. I got a few things I need to do. I think I want to get some rest. I need to go to the gym as well. So from me and the other next gen, right, I'm gonna sign off, and yeah, we're gonna keep this one moving. But thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll talk. We'll chop it up during the week. I got a few other things to address, and I'm looking to do an all-female video coming out shortly, so I'll let you know about that. But for right now, thanks for watching. Leave your comments, feedback in the description, and as always, Hardcore Casual out.